we're Bistra
and Mateo.
Today we have a special mission.
A new episode of ESPAcast is starting soon, and our guest will be Mr. Donald.
But before we start, we wanted to do something a little fun. We'll walk around school and ask students what questions they always wanted to ask Mr. Donald.
Let's go! Wow, we got a lot of interesting questions for our guest. I can't wait to hear what he says.
Me too! Now let's go to the studio.
Hello and welcome back to ESPAcast Studio.
Today we're talking about something that is a big part of our life at school. Learning English and discovering how language helps us connect with the world.
For us, English is not only a subject. It is a way to speak, think, share ideas and understand new people and cultures.
And we're very happy to have a special guest with us today, our native English teacher, Mr. Donald.
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good? From 1 to 10? 1 being like super bad, 10 being like, oh my God, amazing. How are we feeling? 10? Nice. Bistra, Mateo?
6.
Oh. Let's see if we can get you up to a 10 by the end of it, okay?
Yeah, by the end of it, we're going to go to a 5.
Oh, wow. We're gonna go down. Why are we gonna go down, buddy?
Or maybe a 6.5.
Ooh, okay, I'll take that half-point increase. Bistra, do you think you're gonna stay at a 10, or do you think you're gonna drop down?
Or maybe an 11.
You don't know?
Or
Okay.
maybe you're 11.
Yeah.
Oh, like Stranger Things. Nice. Okay, guys, thank you so much for having me today. Now, this is my first interview with the ESPA podcast, so I'm super excited. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Students at ESPA already know you from your classes, but for everyone else, could you tell us a little about yourself and what you actually do at ESPA?
I would love to. My name is Mr. Donald. I'm an American, and I've been living here in Bulgaria for the past almost 8 years, guys. And what I do specifically at ESPA is I am the Dungeons and Dragons teacher. Now, using that, I help you guys practice your English, and we have discussions when we go on adventures and quests. Now, I'm curious, in your guys' own words, how would you describe my classes as different from normal English classes?
Fun.
Fun. Okay. What else?
Amazing and fun.
Amazing and fun. And what is your favorite aspects about the Dungeons and Dragons classes?
Making the characters... No, wait. Making the world is funner.
Making the world?
And then when they're on your island, you know all the things that are going to happen on it. And maybe if they miss something and when they finish the map and they said we're ready, you can always say no, you're not. We still have something to finish at my island.
And how about for you, Bistra?
Making the islands.
Making the islands as well. Making our own world, creating a place that changes, and then we find the story together, right, guys?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How did you decide to become a teacher and work with children?
I decided to become a teacher because when I came to Bulgaria, I had a very certain skill set with my English and my background as an improvisational teacher and performer. And I found that I loved the moment when children and adults are learning something new and it clicks. Now, for example, when you guys are playing Dungeons and Dragons, that moment when you're on a quest and you don't know how to solve it, and then you guys both know that moment you go, oh, and then you see, oh, I can make this choice. I can try to do something. I see a solution right now. And then you're able to explain it to everyone else. That moment is super exciting for me. Or when you communicate with each other and Bistra, you're like, oh, Mateo, you have this power and you can do this. And then that elevates to the next level and we create a story that's never been told before. That's super fun for Mr. Donald. Do you guys have any other questions for Mr. Donald right now? Ooh, okay.
Why are you a stand-up comedian?
Why am I a stand-up comedian? I'm a stand-up comedian because I love being on stage and making people laugh. Like, you guys know how sometimes when you're in class, you tell like a joke and everyone laughs?
Yeah.
That's my job sometimes.
Oh, is there a funny moment from stage or the classroom that you will never forget?
Yes. So as my work as a stand-up, as you guys know, Mr. Donald tells lots of funny stories on stage. And there was one time My first time in Bulgaria, guys, I asked my girlfriend simple phrases in Bulgarian, to prepare. Like, where's the bathroom? Kde je toaletna? Nice to meet you. Rad vam se da se poznajem. And then I was like, oh, how do you say excuse me? Like if you bump into someone or like you need to get someone's attention, it's a really useful phrase, right?
Yeah.
And my girlfriend told me, she was like, well, izvinete. But she was like, but if you want to be really Bulgarian, we say opa. And I thought to myself, oh, opa's way easier to remember than izvinete. I'm not even going to try to remember izvinete. I'm going to remember opa. And then we were in a villa, and I backed up, guys, and I bumped a baba, not softly. And I turned around, and she was staring at me like, and I was like, oh yeah, I know what to say in this moment. So after I bumped her, I turned around and I went, opa! And that's when I learned opa doesn't actually mean excuse me. In Bulgarian, it means oops. So that's one of my stories that I'll never forget, guys.
Yeah, and can you tell us one of your stories?
I just did, but...
A joke.
Oh, a joke. Okay. So Mr. Donald actually usually tells stories from his experiences, not so much like knock-knock jokes.
Yeah,
But something else I remember when I came to Bulgaria, when I learned I had a coworker at the time. His name was Georgi. And he usually went by the nickname Zhoro, like a lot of Georgis do, right, guys? Now, the first time I heard someone call him Zhoro, I heard Goro. I called him Goro for 2 months, guys. No one corrected me. Till finally, I was looking around and I was like, I think everyone is saying Goro's name wrong. And I asked him, I was like, Georgi, is your name Goro? And he said, no, it's Zhoro. And I said, why? Why did you let me call you Goro for 2 months? And he said, I thought it was funny. So yeah, so that's what Mr. Donald does on stage.
Why do you think it's important for kids to speak another language?
Ooh, it is so important, guys, because every language or moment of cultural learning we have, we learn a little bit more about the world and we're able to communicate with each other. Like, for example, guys, right now, if you only spoke Bulgarian and Mr. Donald only spoke English, could we be having this conversation?
no.
No, probably not, right?
But if we speak English and you didn't speak Bulgarian, we could still do the conversation because we are only going to talk in English.
Yeah.
So
But there's not only English in the world, right? There's Spanish, there's French, there's Mandarin, there's Japanese.
Isn't Chinese the most used language?
I think Chinese, Mandarin Chinese is the most spoken language.
Second is definitely English.
Second is English, yeah. But I'm curious, for you guys, as if you learned English and not just Bulgarian, what opportunities has that opened up for you? Like moments like right now, for example, or other moments where because you know English now, you can do things you couldn't do.
Chatting in Roblox.
Chatting in Roblox.
Nobody would understand Bulgarian.
No one would understand Bulgarian Roblox. Okay. What else?
But we don't have chat because now normally we have, if I play a game and there is like a fun chat, not a real chat. Just when you trade something, there is a mini chat so you can talk about the trades. Most of the people talk English and that is something that I can speak. So if I didn't, I was going to be like, yes, let's do it in Bulgarian, like da,
Okay. Okay, so you're able to talk with people that you've never met before because you both know a different language.
For
games.
Yeah, on
Okay.
games.
So bravo. Good job. So guys, the more you keep learning languages, the more opportunities and more of the world opens up to you. When you get a little bit older and you start traveling around the world, you'll be able to communicate with people that you've never met before in new places. That's super, super exciting.
We also know you're not only a teacher, but also a stand-up comedian. How do you do both jobs?
I don't sleep enough, guys. But I am very fortunate where my teaching usually happens during the day and my stand-up comedy happens in the evening. So I'm able to balance those out.
Yeah, I don't sleep too much.
You don't sleep too much?
Yeah, I mean yesterday No. On Friday, I went to sleep at 12 and I woke up at 7.
So you got 7 hours of sleep. That's a normal amount, right?
No, I mean,
No,
we have
eight-
like 9
eight
hours.
How many hours of sleep do you guys get?
For kid, normally it's like 9 to 10 hours.
Mr. Donald's super jealous. Mr. Donald gets less than that.
You get like 6 or 5? You get like
yeah.
I sleep 7 hours.
Bravo.
I think my record is like 4 to 11:30 to go to bed and then wake up at 5:50.
Whoa.
Can I say this Christmas?
Yeah.
I was talking with my brother, but I couldn't sleep, and we stayed awake for to 12 p.m.
12:30 p.m. the next day, or a.m.
Wait.
12:30 at night or 12:30 p.m. then 0:30?
Yeah, 0:30.
12:30 a.m.
Do different languages change the way you see the world?
100%. Now, this is one of the coolest things about learning a new language. That as you learn new languages, your understanding of the world and your ability to communicate with different people gets better. So, the more we're able to talk and the more we're able to communicate with each other, the more we understand each other and where we're coming from. And that's a super important thing about learning new languages. It's not, you guys know this, learning languages isn't just, oh, what color is this? Oh, it's black, or cherno in Bulgarian. It's not just words, words, words. It's learning how to communicate our ideas with each other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a big, big thing of what we do here at ESPA. As you guys know, we don't just learn grammar. We just don't learn the rules of language. We spend a lot of time looking at how to make language functional. And that's part of the reason why at ESPA we offer lots of opportunities to use language in a meaningful way. Not only just Mr. Donald's Dungeons and Dragons classes, where you guys get to explore ideas or problems that don't have clear solutions, but also English Month, where we get to explore legends and stories from different cultures and see how they think about the world. And that shifts our own understanding a little bit. And then it expands what we can do with language.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know you don't teach only Dungeons and Dragons, you teach reading.
Mm-hmm. Reading.
Popcorn reading, yeah.
Popcorn reading. Do you like popcorn reading, Mateo?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain what popcorn reading is really quick?
To read, but everybody does one word. Everybody. And let's say, like it's your turn, and your word is how. You only need to say you need to say only how.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bistra, did you want to add on to that?
And if you pronounce the word incorrectly, we start again.
And
How do we start again, guys? Do you remember? Game over. Yep. Now, so you guys like popcorn reading?
Yeah.
Do you know why Mr. Don likes popcorn reading?
why?
First off, it's super, super fun. Secondly, it makes you focus while someone else is reading. So you're practicing, you're listening.
And sometimes it makes you frustrated.
Frustrated is okay, buddy. Because frustrated means we're trying, right?
Yeah, but if somebody misses because he wasn't watching and we're almost at the end, this only happened one time, everybody's like, why?
Mm-hmm. And what do we learn in that moment?
Pay attention.
Mm-hmm. What else?
And also, if you don't hear the word that the kid says before you just say, please repeat, and he says the word again, and you find it and you say it.
Yeah, 100%. And guys, if we mess up, is it that bad?
No.
No. What happens if we mess up? Bistra?
We start again.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
this is not always true, because if you're something that decides your life, let's say when you're in 4th grade,
Yeah.
and you need to candidate for school after this, and if you go to a bad school, it's really bad. But if you fail there, it's not that good. No, it's a lot better.
Yeah. But in Mr. Donald's class, and all of us, but when we're learning, if we make mistakes, what do? We try again, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then also, if someone else makes a mistake, what do? Bistra?
Don't yell at him.
Yes, we don't yell at them. What else? Bistra?
We don't hurt him and push him.
Yes, we don't hurt or push him, yes. What else, buddies? What's the big thing Mr. Donald asked us to do with each other? Bistra?
To be careful.
Yes.
Apologize.
Yeah. What's the big one? What does Mr. Donald do a lot during class? If there's not a word you understand or a word you don't know.
Attendance.
If there's a word you don't know in Bulgarian, what does Mr. Donald want you to do?
Try to say it.
And then if you don't know it, what does Mr. Donald do?
He let you say it in Bulgarian, I don't know. But if you don't know it in Bulgarian, you're going to try, and if you don't know how to say it in Bulgarian, Google.
Uncle Google, yes. No, we help each other, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we help each
Yeah.
other.
So when we play Dungeons and Dragons, and because you can't say a word, and Matei said, "Can you say it in Bulgarian?" and I will say it to Mr. Donald, and you said okay, and he said it in Bulgarian, and he pronounced it in English and said it to you.
And then he knew the word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we help each other. If we make mistakes, those are moments where we learn, right, guys?
Yeah.
So mistakes help us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no shame, there's no worry.
Can we think in two languages at the same time?
I'm curious, Mateo, for you, because you speak Bulgarian and English, do you sometimes think in two languages at the same time?
Yes. I think maybe like if I think in Spanish and Bulgarian, I compare them too. Because we don't learn these stuff in Bulgarian. We haven't even learned them yet. And we learned it in Spanish, and I think of the words. I think something like that.
Okay, bravo. Bistra?
Yeah, I think in German, sometimes in German and in Bulgarian, sometimes in English and Bulgarian, and sometimes in,
German and English.
yeah, German and English.
Wow, that's a ton of. Does it ever get messy in your head when you're thinking all these languages?
No.
No, it's super clear. That's awesome. Because sometimes it gets messy in Mr. Donald's head when he thinks in two languages.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to come up with a word in Bulgarian, he can't remember it. And then he can't remember it in English either.
So then just use Spanish. If you can't remember it in Spanish, go
Or
to
German.
German, then to Chinese.
Guys, small problem. Mr. Donald doesn't know Spanish, German, or Chinese.
Then you just go to Egyptian, like with sign language.
Oh, I did just Egyptian. I draw hieroglyphics, like emojis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe you just draw like happy face or something.
Amazing.
I have another question to the question I just asked.
Okay, please.
Can it help us in life? Can it help us in life?
Can thinking in two languages at the same time help us in life? I would say 100% yes. For two big reasons. First off, there's kind of just the practical reason of, especially as you travel around the world and meet different people, knowing how to think in two languages allows you hopefully a better ability to communicate. Additionally, it gives you a lot of sympathy and empathy and understanding to someone if they don't speak your language and they're having to use the happy face, the sad face, trying to communicate with you. Also, this is a neat thing. Some languages are better at describing certain things than others. And some of it's cultural things, some of it's just the language, the way it works. It feels more right to use that language. And how would you say like yadme in English?
Like yatme or what? Like you. Why did I do that? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels a little better in Bulgarian, doesn't it? It's not the same as why did I do this? There's a little spice to it. Yeah. Okay. What were you gonna say, Bistra?
It can be, why did I do that?
But it's not quite the same, right? Like, why did I do that versus yadme. It's a little better. It's a little bit like Do you guys have any other phrases? How would you say like the Holland?
Annoying? Wait, no, it was not. It isn't. It's not annoying.
Wait, what?
It's not annoying. Wait, let's say like ko in Bulgarian or a pillar in English or a tower.
How is it in Bulgarian again?
Ko.
Kula. Kula? Is it tower in Bulgarian?
It's tower in English.
It's tower in English, but in
Or maybe
Bulgarian,
pillar, yeah.
it's kula.
Kua.
Kula.
Which sounds better? Obviously the tower, yeah. In English it sounds better.
Yes. I agree personally, but also tower was the first word I learned for it. So it sounds right. So,
What
but
if we do pillar?
pillar.
Cool.
But a pillar and a tower, they're slightly different.
Yeah, pillar.
So,
It's like a big, and the tower is like something that is a little bit better shaped.
maybe. And they have different, usually a pillar holds something and a tower just goes up. Yeah.
So, the Eiffel Tower is
Not a,
a tower.
it's not a pillar.
Yes. Nailed it. Dramami na shapkata. What does it literally mean in English? Because I understand shapka means something about a
I
hat.
don't care. Dramami is I don't care.
I don't, na shapkata. I don't care about the hat? Is that what that means?
Wait, shapkata, I don't know why they actually put it. I also don't understand it, but dramami is I don't care.
Dramami is I don't care. Dramami by itself means what?
I don't care again.
Wait, Bistra and Mateo. Dramami na shapkata means dreaming on my hat?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
You think so? Okay. And that somehow means I don't care.
I don't care, you can say IDC.
IDC?
Yeah. I for I, don't for D, care for C.
Okay, text speak.
Yeah, or you can just say 0, 0, you can just do.
Wait, explain that one to me.
You can just do.
Wait, no, the 0 part.
What 0, 0?
You said 0.
I have. Yeah, the 0, 0. Alphabet. Letters, yeah. You're going to need to use 0 letters because if you just do this,
Oh,
Like,
I
I
get
don't
what you
know.
mean. So you can just.
I have no idea. Do you think a baby can already start to understand or speak another language?
A baby.
Yeah.
A baby.
Yes.
How old is said baby? 3 months old? 5 months old?
7 months old.
7 months
Or
old?
1. Wait, 7 months old to 2 years old.
So baby to toddler, 7 months old. Repeat the question again, Mateo.
Do you think a baby can already start to understand or speak another language?
Understand? Yes.
Speak, maybe.
Speak hard, maybe. I'm gonna say no on it. If a 7-month-old starts talking to me, I'm gonna freak out a little bit, Mateo. That's a baby. Like if you saw a baby and the baby turned to you and was like, "Good morning," as opposed to "goo goo gaga," how would we feel in that moment?
I'm going to repeat good morning.
You're gonna repeat. You're gonna just talk to a baby. Bistra, do we think babies should be talking?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Because
So you guys are pro talking babies.
Yeah.
and then after that, after you can grow up and be really good at the language.
Afterwards, but first, just be a baby saying good morning. How are you? I would like milk.
No, I would like ice cream.
Fantastic. Now, do you guys have any other questions for me?
I started speaking a foreign language when I was in ESPA kindergarten. What do you think is the best time for a child to start learning a new language?
As soon as they can. Because I'm sure you guys have had classmates, like you started into kindergarten, Bistra. Your English is very, very good. But you guys have had classmates that have joined later on, and their English isn't as good, right? So the sooner we can start learning it, the better. Because also, guys, Mr. Donald is still learning English a little bit. I've been speaking it my whole life, but you're never done learning a language. It's always changing. You're always learning new words and new ways to describe things.
Do you know the word pneumeno microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis?
One more time, buddy.
Pneumeno microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
No, I don't. Oh, a new word for Mr. Donald. Okay, what does this word mean?
I have absolutely no idea. I only know it's the longest word in English.
Okay.
It has
Say it.
39 letters.
It's
I think.
39 letters. Okay.
Something like that.
And then for fun, what's the longest word in Bulgarian?
Не противоконституционно.
Wait.
Let me say it.
Together. 1, 2, 3.
Не противоконституционствувайте.
And how many letters is that one?
I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea.
Probably more. What
No,
is that
it's
one?
less.
It's less.
Yeah, then pneumono microscopic silicon coniosis.
Wait, so what does the Bulgarian word mean, guys?
I still don't know.
Do you know, Bistra?
No.
It means to not take actions against the Constitution.
I don't know what constitution means. And then after you explain the constitution, I'm not going to know a word from the explaining of the constitution. And then after you explain that, it's going to be an infinite loophole.
And once again, that's why the earlier you can start learning languages, the better, gang. Any other questions for me?
Is grammar and rules enough to understand the language?
No. 100% no, guys. Because I'll give
Isn't
an
it
example.
99% no?
It's 100% no. Grammar and rules help us learn a language. We
So
need
it's
grammar. We
99%.
need. Listen, buddy. Listen really quick. It's important to learn a language because if we don't use proper grammar and we don't follow the rules of the language, we're going to speak gibberish and we're just going to know the words, right? Like Mr. Dog could say, "Hello, good dog, cow, brown, cheese, monkey, monkey, monkey." That doesn't mean anything without the grammar and rules to align it.
So the grammar and rules are 10% of the language. So
I would say
so it's not 100%.
it's not 100%. It's more than 10, but it's not 100. But the important thing about using language, guys, which is something we spend a lot of time, here at ESPA, is not just learning the grammar, not just learning the rules, but functional language. And that's like a huge thing. Like during English month, when we're learning new words and stuff, but we're also making our own stories. And it's not just the grammar, but it's putting things in the context and being able to communicate, which is actually more important than grammar. So because during Dungeons and Dragons sessions, do we spend any time on the grammar or rules of language?
No.
No. Yet, what are we practicing in that moment?
To fight the monsters.
What's up, Bisha?
English.
English, yeah. Explaining our ideas and communicating with each other, right?
I know.
Because a lot of time, you guys have asked me, they're like, "Oh, can you explain to Mateo what I'm thinking of?" And I have to say, "No, I can't, because I don't know what you're thinking." And then you have to figure out how to use the language to explain your idea to him, and then decide whether or not it's a good idea or it's going to get your characters killed, right?
Yeah.
At ESPA, we learn English in many different ways in our classes. For example, English literature reading, presentation skills and public speaking, creative writing, and different projects and games. What do you think is the best part of the way languages are taught at ESPA?
I think the best part about the way languages are taught at ESPA is it allows you guys many different opportunities to use your language outside of just grammar and rules. It allows you to actually speak normally. Like when you guys are doing your presentations, during Legend Labs, you get a chance to talk to all your classmates. And it's not just, "Oh, is this the proper way to say ran in the past tense?" It's actually a moment where it's like, "Oh, I get to communicate with you." And we get to have a discussion. Yeah. And then also something I love about ESPA is you guys have questions all the time. And then we get to explore those questions. And it's not just, "Oh, this is the right answer right now." It's like, well, let's sit down and debate this. And that's actual functional language. When you guys grow up, you'll realize in the real world, most of the time, there's not a perfect answer. But you're already starting to learn how to deal with that at ESPA because we have so many different opportunities to functionally use language like we do in real life. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Cool.
I have a cheat code in Dungeons and Dragons.
You have a cheat code in Dungeons? You're going to tell your Dungeons and Dragons teacher that you have a cheat code in Dungeons and Dragons? You have 2? What are your cheat codes, Mateo?
One of them is the emergency on abilities because it adds extra abilities. The second one is the option abilities, which gives you the ability to have a lot more abilities than 2.
Okay.
So now I'm using 10 abilities at the same time.
Question for you, buddy. Are you
Just
actually
7.
using 10 abilities at the same time?
No, but
or
I have 10 abilities.
You have 10 abilities.
7.
So, wait, your character has 7 abilities?
Yes, the option abilities, each one of them has 2, and the emergency onlys are 3. So I
Okay.
basically have 7 abilities.
Okay, Bistra, since you're in the different class, I don't know if you noticed, Mateo has given himself character abilities that can only be used during very specific circumstances.
Yes, so that's
They're his
that's
emergency
another
abilities.
PSP.
How many times have these abilities happened, buddy?
0.
Yep.
Maybe if the final boss gets a boost and becomes stronger.
Oh, okay.
That's also an emergency. You said an emergency that we're fighting against the boss and I can use them, but I said no, it needs to be a lot bigger emergency.
I think your guys' game, you had a big old emergency, but no emergency abilities. And then what happened, Bistra?
Yeah, but they have option abilities.
Wait, Mateo. What happened, Bistra?
We died.
You died. And then what happens when you die?
Start again over.
Yep. And that's fine. It happens.
Now, if you remember, earlier this week we collected questions from students at the school.
Now it's time to ask them. Listen carefully, Mr. Donald.
Donald, what is your favorite movie?
Awesome. Mr. Donald's favorite movie is The Return of the King, Part 3, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's the best movie ever made. That question will be on the test in class. Okay?
There should be a question, how do you cheat?
I'm
How do you cheat at Dungeons and Dragons?
Mateo,
Option
stop
abilities,
cheating at Dungeons and
emergency-
Dragons.
Emergency abilities, or whatever you think happens. And there's 2 answers: emergency abilities and
Amazing. Okay, next question.
option
Yep.
abilities.
Mr. Donald, where do you come from and why did you decide to come to Bulgaria?
Mr. Donald is from America, Michigan, the state of Michigan. And the reason Mr. Donald came to Bulgaria is because he fell in love with a beautiful, amazing Bulgarian woman. And now he lives with her here. And life is awesome, guys.
Hi, Mihal. Hi, Bistra.
What do you always wanted to ask Mr. Donald?
Do you have a best friend in Bulgaria?
I'm super fortunate that I have multiple best friends in Bulgaria. I think I have 4 best friends in Bulgaria.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi, BC.
What do you always wanted to ask Mr. Donald?
I wanted to ask what stand-up comedy does he do?
Thank you.
Mr. Donald does stand up where he tells lots of funny stories about his experiences living as an American in Bulgaria.
Hello, Yasin.
Hello.
What question would you always wanted to ask Mr. Donald?
I always wanted to ask Mr. Donald what his favorite D&D island is.
Mr. Donald's favorite D&D island is a magical world called Eberron, where not only are there dragons and elves, but there's also the Warforged. They're living human robots that are infused with gems and they have souls. It's awesome, guys.
Yeah, it's you play. Are you the dungeon master there too?
I am the dungeon master there too.
With your friends, yeah.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Bistra.
What have you always wanted to ask Mr. Donald?
How old are you?
Mr. Donald is 38 years old, guys.
I want to hear Kosyo's question. Hi, Kosyo.
Hi, Mateo.
What question would you always wanted to ask Mr. Donald?
What he can eat?
Yeah, this is Kosyo. Wait, can I hear that one more time?
What he can
Guys, Mr. Donald can and does eat everything.
Wait, but you don't eat. But you don't eat glass.
I don't eat glass?
Yes.
You don't
Okay,
eat sugar.
let me. I'm trying to eat less sugar because my doctor said I had to. Mr. Donald loves sugar. He loves Petrova. He loves lutenitsa. He loves tacos. He loves burgers. He loves French fries. He loves ice cream. He loves what?
I heard Takis.
Takis. Oh, I love Takis.
Yeah,
I love chips.
Lutichushka.
I love Cheetos. I love Lutichushki. I love
love
what else? Oh, pacha. I like pacha. What else do I like? Oh, I like so many things. Oh, stuffed peppers. I like rice with pork. I like curry, different types of curry, red curry, white
Steph
curry.
Curry?
Yeah.
Curry?
The VIP, Steph Curry, MIVP. What else does Mr. Donald like? Oh, Mr. Donald likes baked beans. Mr. Donald
Do you like burritos?
I love burritos, guys. Mr. Donald loves food, okay?
Yeah.
Donald, why did you decide to be a teacher in ESPA?
I decided to be a teacher at ESPA because I started during Summer Fun Day, and it was so much fun. I talked with Mr. Coco and said, hey, are there opportunities for me here? And he said, do you have any ideas? And Mr. Donald said, what do you know about Dungeons and Dragons? And Mr. Coco said, nothing, let's do it. And that's how I became a teacher here at ESPA.
About Cox password for the Dungeons and Dragons, how did you learn for the Dungeons and Dragons? How did you learn?
How did I learn about it? Like, how did I learn to play it?
Yeah, how did you play it?
I have been playing for over 20 years.
Yeah,
So,
and what was your first game?
so I ask you a question. What
Is your first game that you have ever played of Dungeons and Dragons?
My first game I ever played at Dungeons and Dragons, I was back in high school with friends. We got ourselves the books and we read them and we learned how to play. And we had to travel deep down into a dungeon underneath a mountain where an evil lich was raising...
Lich?
Lich, a super powerful undead guy.
I thought which?
No, lich, and he was raising up skeletons and zombies and sending them out to try to hurt the people in the town. And we all died. We did not succeed.
Yeah.
That was a-
It was your
Yeah, maybe you should
First
use
time,
cheating
yeah.
like me.
Maybe. If we had emergency powers, it might have been okay. We did not.
And option abilities.
And optional abilities.
Do you ever want to be the player in Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, during the Dungeons and Dragon games, yes. I'll be honest. I love being the player. I love being the dungeon master. Now, I'm curious, guys. What's your favorite aspect when we're playing the games about being the players?
That we do quests.
Ooh, elaborate on that.
when we beat the boss.
When you beat the boss? Okay, one
And
second.
everybody is like, yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, so when you say doing the quest, what do you mean, Bistra?
Beating it or losing it. If you're losing it, it's okay. You start it over. You learn from your mistakes.
And you can go to a different island.
Yes, you can go to a different place. During the moments when you're doing the quests, what are you guys doing to beat it or lose at it? Like, what is a moment in your guys' quest right now?
In our quest.
In your guys' quest, yeah.
So we were ghosts. And there was only one player left. That was Matei, and he died from the Leviathan, and we started over again.
Our
Yeah.
quest went a lot smoother, let's say.
Okay. What happened in your guys'?
For Ascalon, we took the weapons from the mermaid and became friends with the Kraken.
Okay, wait, who's Rascalon, buddy?
Rascalon the Inferno is the biggest dragon and it's the boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we went to him and we used all of our weapons and some of our lost. That's when it didn't went smoothly. And then he regenerated. But after that, we did a little bit of... I did my ability one time and I stunned him. And then they shot him with the bows, the magic bows. And because they rolled 5 and 4, you said it deflected them, but then I said, but it is stunned. And so we took a heart and then Easy rolled an 18 so we can finish the dragon. And now we're making a map. And I already did one. And I have a good idea and I think I have a cool idea.
Cool.
Today we found out that learning a language is not only about words and grammar.
It also means talking, understanding different cultures, and discovering more of the world. We felt very happy to learn new languages in such an inspiring place.
Thank you, Mr. Donald, for being our guest today.
Guys, thank you so much for being such amazing hosts. High five. Bravo. Bravo. And dear parents, just in case you've forgotten, giving your children the opportunity to grow and learn in a multiple language environment is sincerely one of the most amazing gifts you can give them. To allow them to learn to express their ideas through games, fun, and debate in different languages allows them a chance to access more opportunities throughout the entire world. Thank you for choosing ESPA.
This was our school podcast, ESPAcast.
See you next time!